So have a little bit of time between now and the time I gotta go pick up my youngest son from school. So I thought I would, I don't know, just go over a litter of Jersey Woolies, just in case anything was helpful to someone. Um, so this is a litter that is 21 weeks old. They are in a few days they'll be 5 months old. So their ears are done growing. Their body type's not going to change a whole lot. I wanted to point out, I had committed to go ahead and keep this litter for quite a long time until they were seniors. But I want to point out some of the differences that I see between them. And honestly, they're the same things that I saw in them when they were around 6 weeks old and about then again, I guess I looked at them around 8 and 10 weeks old. Anyways, I wanted to point out a few of their strengths and definitely some of their problems. This one, definite problem that I see here is the depth of shoulder is not great. Now, I could go ahead and jack this girl up and hold her up like this, you know, and putting my hand over her shoulder, she feels really, really tight right here. Like, I can just barely put my finger in there. And she has an amazing, what feels like an amazing top line. And she's got a really broad shoulder, broad loin, broad hindquarter. So that is really something that, I think is really nice. But she, you can't just hold your rabbits up here like this. That doesn't help at all. She might stay like that for a little while, but, when she's sitting in the cage, every once in a while she'll sit up like that. But most of the time when I go to look at her, she's down like this. Also, another fault is this really cottony coat. Let's see. Down below, okay, right here, I can see it starting to come in. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I can see it starting to come in. So she's developing her coat later than her siblings. I can't not say that this is the worst cottony coat because I think I've literally groomed her lightly twice in her entire life. And it just doesn't mat. It doesn't really web at all. I can blow into her coat and it looks and feels great. But she can't have a coat like this as a senior, obviously. Anyways, so, if I have a really jacked up buck, by that I mean just a buck with a really great depth of shoulder and top line and everything else and better ear set, because hers are back, and they scissor a bit. You can see, I don't know if you can see it right there. This one's going over the other one, okay? So the carriage of the ears are not great, and the placement of the ears are not great. They're a little bit too far behind her head, okay? Her color's fine. Her color's fine. So I'm going to compare her to, I'll get the sister out. So I'm getting this one out. Oh, the table's a little uneven, a lot uneven maybe. Sorry. So this girl, I did not do anything to her front end at all. She's sitting much more with a depth of chest here. I haven't even done anything to her front end here. Typically when I put them down on the table, because put their back end down first, to put my hand back here so they can't back up. And then I just very lightly just touch their chin to see if they'll go up, see? And she doesn't have any problem doing that. So just that alone shows me, I mean, well, before I didn't even have to touch her at all, but it just shows me she has a greater depth of chest. And that's what I need. I need a little bit, it's not quite fixed in my herd yet, so I'm working on that. Let me skip over a little bit here, girl. All right. If anything, I want this girl to go down a little bit. But she's just, this is just the way that she wants to sit. And this is about what she does in her cage too. What I really, you've seen this girl before. If you see my Facebook page, a while back I put some photos of parts that I like on rabbits, and she was my example of the wide back end, and that's really what I love about this doe most. I think she's has a decent shoulder, a little lacking in the, how do you say, in the midsection, just slightly, but her back end feels really great. It's, well, let me see if I can show you. So she really doesn't have any wool on her at all right now. This is really just guard hairs. I don't know if you can see that or not. But her width is, I think, is really good. And it comes down all the way, and I know my hand's getting in the way there. I wish I could show you a little better. She may look narrow from there. She does. She feels a lot better than what it looks like here on camera. And the thing is that I really like about her is that she's consistent. And again, she has like no wool here, so it's not like she's hiding anything. And you pretty much just saw what she's like. But I like that she's, you know, got a decent amount here, and I can put my hands all over her, and she's not, you know, a shrinking violet or anything. She does not have the, you know, the greatest width, but I think also it's not bad. And she's, you know, just like my bucks bulk up when they're about 1.5 years old, my does do something as well. You know, I don't know. I'm seeing this little invite thing. Neighbors' friends will be able to. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so I'm seeing this thing that says, hi, hi Lauren. Her ears and set are better than the last two. Yes, thanks for pointing that out. So if you guys see something that, thanks Bridger, if you see something that, like that, please go ahead and comment. So there's a lot of things. It's not just the, you know, her width. I think the other doe has a better width, except in the lower hindquarter. So because this doe is fuller in the lower hindquarter, I think she has has better type than that one, and the ears too. So let's see. I don't know what she's doing with her ears right now. There we go. Can we put them together? All right. And then let me see. Okay, the carriage is better. You know, sometimes was it Kathy Grove showed me this? I'll put my hand right back here to encourage them to put their ears up as far forward as they can naturally. She looks dumb standing up like that right now. Sorry. But anyways, oh, and also another thing is her top line. Oh, I wish I had my stick. Maybe you can follow the green dot here. It starts here and then, oh, it doesn't go up a whole lot. It goes up a little, just barely, and then goes down like so. So she doesn't have quite sitting like this, which I think is fine, but I wish she had a little bit of a better rise. Right there, just barely. Okay, it goes up, but just not, it's slight. Hi, Amber. So happy that you're showing your bunnies love. Oh, sure. No problem. I'm just having fun. I've had a little bit of time. So, also one thing I wanted to point out is the texture. Okay, the texture of this dough. So is her wool's just coming in, but it's loaded with texture. And I expect the density to come in after the coarser guard hairs. So what I'm hoping is that she'll have enough density to balance those guard hairs so that she'll have a lively coat. Yeah, her ears. Oh, one thing. I wanted to measure the ears. This is not ideal. Okay, normally you would do use a school ruler for that. She's not gonna be happy with this. Okay. So I'm going to do it from this. Okay, so she has not quite 2 1/4 inch ears, and she is, I just weighed her, she is about 2.5 pounds. Thanks, Bethany. Yeah, it's definitely better than the other one. The other one was, I mean, the value I see in her is her ovaries. You know, if I had a really great buck to put her with, because she can pass on the width, but she's not going to do anything for ears. Her head is just plain. The doe, this doe is a lot better. So she's about 2 pounds right now. She's actually just shy of 2 pounds, and she has 2 1/4 inch ears. So I'm hoping that she's almost 5 months old, I'm hoping that she'll be able to put on a lot more weight. So if I think she's going to be a little small, but if she were to get around 3 pounds, or a little bit shy of that, I'm fine with the ears being a little shorter than ideal. I don't think she's going to get quite up to 3 pounds. So I think that she's going to be balanced as far as that goes. So I have one more to show. I'll get that guy out. And again, I'm not doing anything to the doe's head. I hope you were able to see the difference between the depth of shoulder there. Yeah, I guess that's all. She's not really heavily marked. I don't care. It's just putting paint on the rabbit is really all the markings are. So you go for the structure first, obviously. In fact, you can't even see her little nose marking there. But okay, so there's this doe. You know, one more thing I wanted to point out. Her wool cap and furring. It's okay. I mean, she's missing wool right here, but I think that once it comes in, it's going to be stand up enough to where it will, you know, look as we want it in, you know, as our standard states that we should have. She'll have a fairly, you know, a flat face. It'll look blocky. So next one. So this guy, okay, there we go. So I'm not holding his head up, I'm just tapping, okay? And if he wants to keep his head up that way, you know, great. If not, great also. I know more about him this way instead of holding his head up. And that's really what I want, is to learn what to keep and what not. So there's this guy. This is the guy that's on, oh, let's see, what does that say? Oh, okay, I already got that one, that comment. This guy is the one that's on my profile picture. Yeah, I really want to love this guy. So I love his side trimmings. That's the wool, or not the wool, it's the fur and wool that's right here, okay? I love his wool cap, and he's missing his wool cap. It's not all the way in yet. He's got a big hole in his wool cap. Let me see if I can get him to look at the camera a bit. I'm just going to hold his head now just so the width of his head is better than the one I just had up here. Yes, exactly, Lauren, mughead. So from all angles too. I mean, he's turning his head, it still looks blocky, you know? And that's really because he has a round head and good side trimmings, good wool cap. It also helps that this makes it look, you know, give it breadth, but what you're looking at as far as breadth of head is right there. So let's see, his ears also, they're a bit bowed. They could be worse. They're not scissored. So that's a good thing. I think the substance of ear, let's see, I think that his, turn around. Okay, so this guy definitely has longer ears, okay? I'm perfectly fine with this. This guy, he weighs about 2 pounds, but I can feel that he can stand to gain. He's not as meaty as his sisters right now, so I feel that his bone structure is a little bit lanky, and right now, and he's not as fleshed out as the others. So I'm thinking he's going to be a big guy. I would love for him to get to be around at least 3 pounds, maybe a little bit more. So his ear length. Again, this is done growing. Okay, so his ear length is 2 and 2 3/8, so less than 2.5 inches. And if he gets to be close to, hold on, Marquis, no. He's trying to get to the little chickens that I let out to play in the yard. He's keeping an eye on them for me. So, yeah, this dash, I know. There's nothing cuter than Wooly with a, you know, nose marking that goes on both sides. So anyways, his ears, they are, you can see right here, they're a little bit weak, okay? At the tip there, I wish they had the shape of the sister you just saw. They could be more open, but this is a problem that I've been trying to fix for a little while, and this is actually an improvement, so I'm okay with it. And then, let's see, I was just reading that Deanne commented on Crystal Clack's what do you call it, picture, that she thought that the weakness in here can improve a little bit as they get older. So, and I've seen, you know, ears get greater substance as the rabbits have grown. Not all of them will do that, but my line has, and this one's related to my line. So, anyways, actually this one's not, but anyways, I'm hoping I'll see that again anyways. So this guy's depth of shoulder is less than the doe, although with me sitting here not doing anything, not touching him or anything. Although when he's sitting in his cage, he's always very up. So I'm fine with that. His texture is, I mean, his coat's really in transition. His texture's softer than the broken sister that you just saw, but I think it'll be okay. but it'll be like on the softer end of the spectrum that I think is okay. Okay. Um, I guess that's all that I wanted to say about this guy. Just that I think the main thing, oh, you know what? I want to talk about this guy. His width is not so great. Not like his sisters. Um, in fact, he reminds me of my buck Chance, who is narrow, but has still, has really nice redeeming features. Um, so I'm hoping that he'll broaden up. Um, Michelin has a buck, actually a full sibling to this one, that I also thought was narrow at the same age, but I liked his top line, and I like the top line of this guy. And she's always reminding me that, okay, he broadened up a lot. So I'm going to hang on to this guy. I really like what what I'm seeing up here. I'm hoping he broadens up and really puts on a lot of weight. I think if he does, he'll be balanced, but I'm definitely keeping the broken sister, um, because not only do I think she'll be good, fun to play with on the show tables, but she's more balanced than this guy, even though she doesn't have this. Okay, this is just frosting. I guess you might say it's important frosting, but with breeding, I think I can improve it on in her offspring. But so a combination of the two brokens that you just saw is what I like to see. Oh yeah, and top line for this guy. I don't know if you can see that little green dot, so it goes up a bit. What's catching on his fur. Okay. So it goes up a bit, and then down into the undercut. He is undercut. You can see it. Don't you hate that? Yeah, when you get an animal that is cute everywhere else, but then doesn't uphold your expectations for body. Yeah, definitely, because you always want something that's perfect. But seriously, there's never going to be. I don't see that I'd ever be like seriously satisfied, because I think that I'm always wanting to change even the most minute things. But what I am happy about is that I feel like in this litter, even with the black otter, which is, definitely not, I mean, she would be a brood. I probably will never put her on the table, on the show tables, but the combination of the qualities that each of the rabbits in this litter have combine to be the traits that I think are ideal. Does that make sense? So, I'm going to repeat the breeding. I'm going to work these rabbits into my breeding program, and yeah, just keep on working. I have fun that way. All right, he is so well behaved. Oh, my buck would be digging and spraying everywhere. You know what? I was actually, Ashley, I was a little bit surprised at how friendly these Brokens were, because my boys haven't raised rabbits for a while, for several years now. And these rabbits would always come to the front of the cage, and I thought, what in the world is going on? Well, I kind of remembered, oh yeah, duh, this litter spent like most of its life inside our house, among the playing and running and screaming and yelling, and of that happens in the house full of boys. So anyways, yeah, they're kind of chill, and it just reminds me that I miss having my bunny tamers, because everybody knows kids are the best rabbit tamers. So anyways, there we go, there's these guys. He has a prettier head than Hemingway at this age. Oh, you know what, Michelin? I love this guy's head furnishings. I really do. So that's another reason why I really want to love this guy and work him into my breeding program, is because I think these are just really great head furnishings. And this guy's just a little guy. I mean, he's not gonna peak until he gets to a year and a half old. So I think that he'll pass on. What I'm hoping is that he'll pass on these head furnishings to his, and spread it throughout my herd. Um, yeah. All right, well, I guess that's it. If nobody has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And of course, you can always ask questions afterwards. And, I don't know everything. I'm happy to talk and gab always. All right. Thanks, guys. Hi, Jan. Thanks. Bye-bye.